What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here for your NFL Week 10 review, reaction, rant, recap, all the R words. That is what this show is. All right? We are back for another NFL review. And boy, we had another very interesting week in the NFL. Because 2021, the NFL season just can't stop topping itself. Every single week we have shockers. Every single week we have storylines galore. Every single week we get madness in the NFL. And Monday Night Football was no different. We're going to get to that recap of the 49ers and the Rams. A game that, I'm going to be honest, quite pleased by the result in this one. The 49ers show up huge, finally this season, and beat the LA Rams by a lot of points. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a sec. What's going on, everybody? If you're here, don't forget to spike that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for more BLV NFL reviews every week after Monday Night Football. Spike that notification bell for the latest live upload. And all of my videos, make sure you go to spike that notification bell. Once you do, make sure you click that you're going to get all of the content, all of the notifications. Very important, okay? Sometimes they give you just the personalized ones. Make sure you get all of those notifications so you never miss a bottom line view video. What's going on, Rob? I got to give a shout out to my guy, Rob, who is a big 49ers fan. He says the Niners' best game of the season. Congratulations to 49ers fans out there. I know a lot of you follow the channel, so appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And congratulations. So we have, first off, okay, we got to talk about a few things. And I want to say something at the top here. I do not remember an NFL in my life, a single season, where you could sit me down on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and explain to me the events that happened on Sunday, that were going to happen on Sunday. And I would literally believe anything you said. If you told me the Detroit Lions went to Arizona and beat the Cardinals by 49, I'd probably believe you. If you told me that the day before the games, Brett Favre came back for the Packers because Rodgers was out of the game and threw 3 touchdowns, I'd probably believe you. To be quite honest with you, I would believe any single thing you said about this NFL season. Because what the NFL is doing this year is messing with everybody's minds. Favorites do not exist. I don't know if it's just the most parody we've ever seen. I don't know if the underdogs are better than usual. I don't know if the favorites are worse than usual. I don't know if everyone sucks. I don't know what it is. But you could tell me anything was going to literally happen that week, and I would believe you. I would. There's no reason not to at this point. I mean, bro, it's been unbelievable this year. So let me know what you think your takeaway is from week 10, right? That's what this show is all about. It's the takeaways of the week. It's the quick snap judgments, the reactions, and understanding the league so that we move on to a new week. This is your weekly review. Don't forget to spike that like button. Also, guys, you can follow us on social media. You could follow myself on Twitter at Mitch Milani. That is MITCH MILANI. You could also follow the channel on Instagram at TheBottomLineView. Same name as the channel. All right. So enough of the plugs. Let's get to the reactions. Let's roll. All right, I do want to give a quick shout out to the people on Patreon who are supporting me currently. You can support me on Patreon if you want to support me as a creator at a bunch of different tiers. Currently, we've got the BLV versus Consensus podcast every single week with myself, Derkant, Ultra, Lenny, and the boys talking about the NFL every week. We've got gambling exclusive content. We've got betting tips, which I actually gave out the 49ers +4 today to a patron. So if you want all that, check it out on Patreon. All right. Let's get to Monday Night Football. So actually tonight, I had a few friends over for the game and expected this to be a big deal. Obviously, it was hyped up a ton. It's OBJ's debut with the Rams. It's Von Miller's debut, which wasn't really as talked about, but that was the case. By the way, side point here. I think Von Miller, if he really wants to be good this year, if he really wants to make an impact with the Rams, you gotta switch your number. Bro, I don't care if you wore 40 in high school, college. I don't care. 40 for a pass rusher, I just don't get it. If I see a defensive end wearing 40, the guy just automatically sucks. I'm going to be honest with you. 40 is meant for the plugs. 40 is meant for the third string linebackers. 40 is meant for the fullback. 40 is meant for Gale Sayers. 40 is meant for the bench warmer. All right? Not Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer and the number 40, unless your name's Gale Sayers, it does not apply. I will not be able to focus on a Rams drive if Von Miller continues to wear the number 40 because I just don't like it. It looks ugly and you're just daring the football gods to make you suck by wearing that number. I hope you guys agree with me because this is sound logic. You cannot wear the number 40 and play defensive end, outside linebacker, and be good. It just doesn't really happen. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, let's start with Odell. So Odell played about 15, 16 snaps. It felt like more because the camera must have been on him at least 15, 16 times. Probably 25 to 30 times. When he was on the sidelines, it was on him constantly. You know, he was often talking on the sidelines with Matthew Stafford throughout the game. You know, probably trying to get a sense of Stafford as quarterback, but also the offense. Odell only caught 2 passes for 18 yards, and I think this was kind of what we expected. I hope you didn't expect a huge game from Odell in his first outing. We knew his snaps would be limited. Now, what I didn't expect was the constant trolling of the Rams and Beckham on Twitter, which I think was, you know, just classic Twitter. But I think you saw a player that could help this offense in the limited routes he ran. You know, didn't really make any big splash plays. And I thought early on, it definitely appeared Stafford tried to force him the ball, maybe a little bit too much there. The first pass went his direction on a quick out route. Solid route, solid catch, solid throw. That was a good way to get him involved in the game. Second play of the game, he runs kind of like a clear out deep post. He's in double coverage, and Stafford still decides to throw it, although he threw it way in a different direction. I don't know if they mistimed. It was obviously a broken play, so it was basically not the route that was designed on the play. So, overall, my thought was that Odell looks like a player that if they get him more involved, once he learns the offense, I feel he can be a help, especially as a deep threat. Because that's an area where the Rams are lacking. They're lacking that stretch the field playmaker. I mean, Cooper Kupp isn't that guy. Robert Woods was never that guy. He's not playing. Van Jefferson's not that guy. My guy Ben is not that guy. I'm sorry. So, Odell's got to be that guy. If they want to make plays down the field, if they want to make chunk receptions down the field, The only way is going to be Odell. And that's why he's kind of a must for this team. And that's why I'm a little surprised he didn't actually play more at the end of the game to like at least get involved in the offense, to learn on the fly, to get some reps with his quarterback, because the game was clearly over. So by that point, maybe you should have put him out there more. Obviously, they did not. But Von Miller looked awful. I thought Von looked pretty good in Denver. In this game, he got ran over like continuously. I mean, Kittle pancaked him. Absolutely, a tight end just smashed him in a way I haven't seen a player pancake another player since N'Keal Harry on Myles Garrett. Okay? Von Miller looked terrible. Cooper Kupp was good. He was just about the only guy I liked out there. Although I will say this. This might be a hot take. If I had a football team and I was the general manager, I would rather have Deebo Samuel on my team than Cooper Kupp. I understand the stats suggest Cooper Kupp's a better player. I don't think he's better at football than Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is an absolute freaking animal, bro. This guy plays 4 positions. He plays running back, fullback, tight end, slot, outside wide receiver. He's everything. I mean, you want to see a good football player. A player that could play in any era. You show a picture of Deebo Samuel. This guy's tough as nails. He breaks the first tackle every single time. They get him involved in the run game. He is a statement. He is a statement player. You know why I love Deebo Samuel? And now we're going to get the... Bro, we're going to get the Patriot bias thing again. I love Deebo Samuel because Deebo Samuel reminds me of what Edelman was for the Patriots. When Deebo Samuel gets the ball, there's just an energy that like comes to the stadium that is unique to any other player. Like when the Patriots had Edelman, when he got the ball and like he like tried to go through people and then trash talk them, that's exactly the same vibes I get from Deebo Samuel. It's the same vibes. It's the Edelman vibes. That's what I get from Deebo. Deebo's a stud, man. He was the guy that I believe deserves the spotlight from this game. George Kittle, I was saying this to my friend watching the game. George Kittle is the most underrated player in terms of the value he brings to his team. Like, I'm not sure what the record is when George Kittle plays and when he doesn't play, but there's a noticeable difference in the quality of play from the 49ers offense, from Kyle Shanahan's play calling, from the run game, from Jimmy Garoppolo, from the offensive line. When George Kittle plays, the Niners are a good team. When George Kittle doesn't play, the Niners suck. I'm just going to be honest. George Kittle is a legitimate, most valuable player. Like, there are not many players that are almost irreplaceable in the league that don't play quarterback. George Kittle is on the short list. George Kittle's a stud. Eli Mitchell had a solid game running the rock. I thought, overall, the Niners did a very good job protecting Garoppolo a week after, and weeks after, really. They've struggled in pass pro the whole year. I thought they did a good job on Aaron Donald and company in this game. That 11-minute drive they had, I mean, Kyle Shanahan went to Washington and the football team and said, hold my beer after their 10-minute drive versus the Bucs. And went 11 minutes. Dominated possession, statement drive, and that was the... Honestly, I know the score was 7-0. That was the game. Like, when you saw the Niners drive for 11 minutes on a 90-yard drive and 15 plays, didn't it just feel like the Niners were going to win? Like, undeniably, they just had it rolling in this game. Everybody had it rolling. And we're asking for some Jimmy love in the chat. He played pretty decently. You know, about as good as Jimmy Garoppolo can play. I didn't think he was phenomenal or anything, but he did make a couple really nice throws. I will say that one throw on 4th down to Deebo Samuel was a very nice throw. And like I always say, Jimmy Garoppolo can get it done for you. And when a defense allows him to throw between the numbers, he's a very good quarterback. When you got Kittle, when you got Deebo, when you got these guys that make these plays between the numbers and get open for you, Garoppolo will make you pay. He's accurate. He's got a quick release. You got to force Garoppolo to be something he's not, which is a downfield passer, which is an outside the numbers passer, which is a mover in the pocket. Garoppolo is a solid player, no doubts, but he wasn't the reason the Niners won. The reason the Niners won is because they punched the Rams in the face. And this is a problem I have with the Niners right now. The Niners are becoming a little bit too much of a diva. Too much of a diva team, right? They're becoming a little bit too much of a finesse team, is perfectly what I mean. They don't have enough just F you attitude to them. Like, I don't see the Rams the last couple weeks versus the Titans and the Niners. They got beat up. Like, they got beat up. If you're going to play in the playoffs, okay, and you think you're a Super Bowl team, you can't get beat up. You can't get physically beat up. And that's what the Rams have been both these last 2 weeks. Their weakness is their finesse. They've got to have a little bit more grit to them, toughness to them. Where's the attitude? I don't see no attitude. You got to have a ruthless aggression, as Vince McMahon would say. The Rams don't got it, man. Where is it at? You can have all these players here. By the way, I tweeted this after the game. Where are my Shanahan haters at? Where you at? Come out. Give me your comments. Where you at? I don't see you anymore. I'm looking left, right, center, close, far. I don't see the haters. Where'd they go? Where's the tweets about his record? He owns McVay. What is that, 5 straight versus McVay? You know why he owns McVay? Because McVay literally stole his offense. Where are my haters at? Kyle Shanahan put some respect on his name. So, from this game, I see a team in the Niners that if they can continue to play this way, they're going to be in the mix for a wild card, and I think they're probably not a Super Bowl threat, assuming health, because that's always a wild card with this team itself. They're not a Super Bowl threat, but they could potentially make the playoffs. I looked at their schedule at the end of Monday Night Football there, and it seems very doable for them to make a run at the end of the year. Right? I think they got to continuously run the ball. They got to be this tough, grinded-out team. If the Niners want to keep winning, they've got to have that attitude. And I want to credit the 49ers fans, man. I thought the 49ers fans were louder. Like, usually I listen and I watch 49er games, even on prime time, and they're not this loud. Like, I don't know what got into the 49er fans. Maybe they got a little bit tipsier for this one. But, bro, you guys were loud. Like, it was clear. Rob, what'd you put in your drink? You were loud tonight. I heard you. Finally. 49ers for so long have had zero home field advantage. It helps when the fans are loud. They were clearly up for this game. This is the classic case of the Monday Night Football dog. At home. 49ers showed out. I was impressed. This is the team I expected. I hope they can make a run because I do believe talent-wise, coaching-wise, as a team, they belong in the top 7 in the NFC. I think they can do it, but they got to be consistent. And that starts with Garoppolo. Okay? Rams. The question is this more what's to come or not? Here's what I would say about the Rams. Not only are they a finesse team, and I worry about that, I'm going to say this. The Rams do have some Bucs vibes from last year, where it is like, they brought in Odell, like the Bucs brought in AB, right? The week after they did that, they got shellacked by the Saints. This game, they got shellacked by the Niners. Like, there does seem to be these games where they just don't seem to be right. They just don't seem to be 100%, like, something's off, something's not clicking. There's something with the Rams in these big games. And that was the thing with the Bucs last year too. Like, they kept having their worst games on Sunday night, Monday night. Every primetime game they would lose. Like, I don't know if the Rams have the same vibes. But I do think there was a significant difference between the two teams. And one of them was Tom Brady. And the other one is that toughness. The Bucs at the end of the day are a tough team. They're built at the line of scrimmage. They're built with attitude. That also gets them in trouble with a lot of penalties. The Rams feel a little bit too LA. They feel a little bit too bright lights, big city. They feel a little bit too, classic LA game, LA team, West Coast. Like, they need a little East Coast in them. And I don't really get those vibes yet. So let's see if we can do that. But if a team can smash the ball down their throats, it's going to be trouble. That's what the Niners did for the first, two quarters. They just ran the ball. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting moving forward for both these teams. My expectations have shifted for the 49ers. A couple weeks ago, I said I expect them to be a playoff team. Last week, I kind of backed up from that expectation with their terrible performance versus Arizona. This week, I'm back on the train saying my expectations is that they make the 7 seed. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what I expect. Rams, I still put them in the contendership. I still see them as a contender. But they've got some things to fix, some things to iron out. And Stafford's got to get out of this funk. Because I'm a big Matthew Stafford guy. Last 2 weeks, he has straight up sucked. He has been erratic passing the ball, inaccurate, not great under pressure, just too many bad passes. And that is the number one quality in a quarterback that gets overlooked. Consistency. Quarterback plays about consistency. The difference between good and great is consistency. And that is what impressed me so much about my guy in New England right now has been, even for a rookie, the consistency. We're going to get to that. A little bit of a teaser. Okay? So, there you guys go. My Monday Night Football thoughts. Let me know what you thought in the comments. And let's get to the Ultra 10. I know Ultra's not here right now, but let's get to it nonetheless. All right, so this is very interesting because I previously had no earthly idea what Ultra was going to do with his top 10. So let's be critical here, all right? Last week he came with the whole, I'm just going to pick the teams I think are going to win the Super Bowl. That was his change in the format, okay? I don't think the Titans are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, guys. I don't see it. I mean, I think they've got a solid team. They easily could have lost to the Saints. You can definitely argue they're top 5. I'm not sold, though. Here's the thing I will say about the Ultra 10 and about any power rankings. The NFL is so hard to rank right now. It's a razor thin. It is a personal preference. It is really what you prefer here. And for Ultra, he prefers the Titans. Now, I get it. They're the hottest team given their record, although I would argue they're not the hottest in terms of quality of play, but they're the hottest in terms of most wins in a row, winning streak. I think sometimes that can be a little bit overrated. Although the goal is to win every week, sometimes you can win and play bad, and sometimes you can lose and play well. Like, that definitely does happen in sports. But what I will say about the Titans positively is their defense continues to shine, especially their pass rush. And if they are going to be a contender, their pass rush needs to be very good, because I don't think they'll do it without that pass rush. Jeffrey Simmons deserves to be on your Pro Bowl ballot. Harold Landry deserves to be on your Pro Bowl ballot. So make sure you get those guys on there. Of course, we've talked about Kevin Byard. Tannehill continues to do well enough. A.J. Brown was irrelevant, not even a part of this game. It's really tough how they even move the ball, to be honest. The Saints got a little unlucky. That would have been a big win for the Saints. But the Titans, just in that championship way, they do find ways to win. And they found another way to win here with the 2-point conversion stop to get them the win. At number 2, he's got the Packers. I think that's interesting. We're going to talk about the Packers near the end, I believe. I do have them here in terms of my conversation pieces I want to talk about, because the Packers are a tough team to really evaluate. I did the stream for the Packers and the Seahawks. I thought their defense, again, played really well. They play very sound. They don't give up any big plays. The coverage is very good. I feel their coaching has been much better this year. Pass rush is kind of under the radar. Run defense isn't bad. Their defense, even without 2 of their better players, is playing really good football. Now, the thing with the Packers, and I'm going to talk about this, that I'm not sure of is the Packers' offense is lackluster. And we're going to talk about how that might affect the team moving forward. At number 3, the Cowboys. I think you could argue the Cowboys higher. I think you could make an argument for the Cowboys at number 1. Because, yeah, they lost the Broncos and it was embarrassing. But I think out of any loss by any elite team, not to make excuses for Dallas, but that kind of felt like an outlier. We didn't really see that from Dallas otherwise the whole year. Now, maybe we will in the future, but it just kind of felt like that was a really bad game. And it hasn't really been replicated, and they quickly turned it around versus Atlanta. Dallas, I don't think will win the Super Bowl, although I wouldn't discount them from doing it. I do still think I have my questions about them, especially the defense. But when you look at their track record and what they've done, it's hard to argue that they're not 1 or 2, right? At number 4, the Rams, I think, he might have done this before the game was over. He said he was busy tonight. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. The Rams are not a top 5 team right now. Not the way they've played the last 2 weeks. Too many mistakes. Protection hasn't nearly been as good on the offensive line. Defense is definitely a fraud. Anybody that thinks the Rams defense is good, don't watch them play. And Stafford has not been playing well. So I would take the Rams out of the top 5. Bucks, they also played poorly versus Washington. Although I feel like the Bucks kind of, they lost and it was embarrassing. No doubt. They allowed a 10-minute drive. But there's a lot where you can almost be like, Washington made a lot of plays. They had a 10-minute drive where they converted 6 third downs. And they just kind of ran into a team that was perfect on that day. And then they had the bye week rust. They started the game really badly, really poorly. I could see, like, watching that Bucs game, I'm not really concerned as a guy that cheers for the Bucs for Tom Brady. I don't really see any, like, big deal from that loss because the way that the game went, I just don't see a lot to take from it. And some of that is also the injuries that the Bucs have. As long as they're healthy, here's the thing with Tampa Bay. The coaching isn't the best. They need their talent to be the best team. If they want to win the Super Bowl, they got to be the most talented team, which they are when they're healthy, but they're not right now. So that definitely takes them down a couple notches. But I think Tampa Bay, I'm not too concerned. It's kind of like the same vibes I had with Dallas last week. I just don't really take anything from that game. At number 6, Arizona. Arizona, another one to toughly grade here because they really didn't have their 2 best players. So they lost embarrassingly to Cam Newton and the Panthers. And I can kind of understand that they lost, and I'm not going to take anything really from that game other than the fact that I think I said what about the Panthers. I think I was right. You know, they have a very good defense. And as long as they get a quarterback that can manage it, they can be good. I think it's more about the Panthers than the Cardinals. I think you write that off for the Cardinals, you move on. Cardinals, I think, deserve to be higher than the Rams right now. I really do. I don't think, at number 7, I don't think there is a team in football playing better football than the New England Patriots. We're going to talk about them soon. I think the Patriots, from a well-rounded standpoint right now, offense, defense, special teams, passing game, run defense, pass defense, coaching, there's no team playing with more quality than the Patriots. There might be more talented teams. There might be better quarterbacks. There might be flashier teams. There is not a team playing better than New England. So they're a tough team to rank because you have to adjust your preseason expectation by such a wide margin to put them higher. And also what you saw early in the year is so much different from what you saw now. At number 8, Buffalo. So it's interesting that he has the Patriots over the Bills. I thought the Bills had somewhat of a bounce back this week. We're going to get to the Bills later in the show as well. I think the one thing I'll say about the Bills is they were up 10-3, I think, at halftime. So that's not super impressive. I'll also say that there is a stretch coming up that we're actually going to learn about the Bills. At number 9, the Chiefs. I can see them being back in the top 10. There's not a lot of good teams in this league. The Chiefs had an impressive offensive performance versus the Raiders, and even a little bit defensive performance. I'm not buying too much into it the way that some people are because the Raiders straight up refused to play the defense that people have had success beating Mahomes with. So I want to see the Chiefs this week, how they play versus Dallas. If they beat Dallas this week, I think they're legit. At number 10, the Ravens. The Ravens, I think, are pretenders. That's all I'm really going to say about that. You can't lose to the Dolphins on Thursday night to just a team that zero blitzed the whole game. So, Ravens, frauds. All right, that's the Ultra Top 10. Let me know what you thought of the top 10. That will be on Instagram later, probably tomorrow. All right. Ultra's power rankings every single week. If you guys want my power rankings, tune in tomorrow. That is Tuesday. Every week on the channel, my power rankings from number 32 to number 1. I rank every team in football. All right. Let's start it off with the Tampa Bay Bucks because I know a lot of people were talking about, is it time to panic in Tampa? What's wrong with the Bucks? What's wrong with Brady? Now, I have a lot of things to say. It's the same thing. It's the same problems that the Bucks have been having. Same problems that I've been talking about for the last 2 seasons. They lack discipline. They lack details. They lack preparation. The Bucks simply looked like a rusty team coming off of a rest. They looked like they were not ready to play. They were sleepwalking for about a half. And that's simply not good enough in the NFL versus anybody. And all of those factors point towards the coaching. You can say it what you want about Brady, Evans, Godwin, the pass rush not being as good, the secondary being hurt. The Bucs were not ready to play. The Bucs take too many penalties. The Bucs make too many stupid plays. And yes, the players deserve some blame for execution. But the coaches are ultimately the ones that should be taking the blame. Keyword is should. My problem is Bruce Arians, okay, every single time in his press conference, this guy blames someone that is not Bruce Arians. He will try to avoid every single time some sort of blame. I have never seen a coach who straight up refuses to take blame. He blames Brady. He blames stupid players. I think he said, like, we're a dumb team. He blamed both interceptions on Tom Brady, although one of them was dropped by a wide receiver into the hands of a defensive back. He'll blame anything. The refs, the fans, his dog, before he blames himself. It's embarrassing. You're a grown man. You know what I respect about Bill Belichick? You might hate Bill Belichick. You might not be a Bill Belichick fan. What does Bill Belichick say every single time the Patriots lose? We got to coach better. That's what Bill Belichick says. Every single time the Patriots lose, Bill Belichick takes responsibility. He doesn't blame Mac Jones. He doesn't blame Brandon Bolden. That's for the fans to do. That's for the media to do. The coach is supposed to take the blame. He is the oldest. He is the senior. He is the leader. He is the captain. And here's the thing. Brady takes the blame every time because he's been a part of New England for so long. That's part of his vocabulary. Brady will say, I've got to play better. Okay? Bill Belichick, every single time the Patriots lose, I've got to coach better. We've got to coach better. Not those 2 interceptions were Tom Brady's fault. Not we got to do better in coverage. I don't know. I'm just making an example. It's pathetic. I hate it. I can't stand for it. I won't cheer for it. And guys, if I'm being truthful with you, I like the Bucs. I like watching Tom Brady, cheering for Tom Brady. I like this team. I've become a fan of this team. But I don't like watching them as much as I like watching the Patriots. And it's not just because I'm a Patriots fan. And it's not just because I like the Patriots more. I think part of the reason is because when the Patriots play well and the Patriots win, they play football the way football is supposed to be played. The Bucs are the sloppiest team. They don't even deserve to win. Like, when I watch the Bucs lose, I'm disgusted. Right? When I watch the Patriots lose, I'm heartbroken. But when I watch the Bucs lose, I'm disgusted. And it's 2 different feelings. Because when the Bucs lose, it's because they deserve to lose. They're idiot. They play like stupid football. They play stupid. They take too many penalties. They turn the ball over. They don't have ball security. They miss an assignment. They lack details. When the Patriots lose, yeah, that can sometimes happen. But that's few and far between. The Patriots don't lose because they lose. It's never been that way. That's what I hate about Tampa. I love Tampa because I'm a Brady guy. But I also hate Tampa because I can't stand the way they're coached. It makes me angry. It infuriates me. I want to tear my hair out of my head. I want to break my television remote. I want to smash my television watching the Bucs. And it's because of Bruce Arians. Now, there's other areas that I will blame because I always talk about this. I feel like I'm a broken record. But I don't know why nobody else talks about this. I don't understand why I'm the only person in the freaking universe that watches Tampa Bay, sees their potential, and is pissed when they lose. Because I swear to God, if Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels coached the Bucs, they would not lose. I swear. I swear to God. Okay? If Belichick and McDaniels coached the Bucs, they wouldn't lose. Every single time the Bucs lose, it's because of coaching. Now, what are some other issues? I will say this. If there's one area of the Bucs I'm concerned about, it's the pass rush. And the reason I'm concerned about the pass rush, they allowed the most time in the pocket for any quarterback this week. 2.8 seconds for Taylor Heineken. Okay? The pass rush is old. JPP is always playing hurt. Sue is like 400 years old. Vita Vea, for some reason, is dropping back into coverage. I don't know why. Shaq Barrett is only one man. The pass rush has not been the same this year. It hasn't. And then when Todd Bowles, who I think Todd Bowles is a good coach. When Todd Bowles blitzes, he leaves his defensive backs, who are backups, basically on islands. And that's really tough. When your backups, your starters are hurt, and you're expecting these guys to make plays in the back end because you can't get pressure with 4 because your pass rush is underwhelming. So guys, there's a lot. My frustration is clear about Tampa Bay. Part of it is injuries. Part of it is the bye week rust. Part of it is lack of details. A lot of it is Bruce Arians. But no AB, no Gronk. That definitely hurts chemistry. Okay? And when you watch that Washington game, they never played the game on their terms. They never played the game on their terms. They never had the upper hand. They allowed a 10-minute drive. 10 minutes. They got double possessed, and somehow blame is still being put on the offense. I don't really think it was a bad game by the offense, considering they only had the ball for 20 minutes in the game. You can't win that way. It's very hard to win that way. I think Tampa's okay, but the biggest thing is they've got to be healthy. And Bruce Arians has got to find a way to dislodge his head from his ass to take the details to the next level. Because the details are what's going to lose you games versus good teams. That run to the Super Bowl where they had their details looks like an outlier. They got to figure this out. They're way too talented to be losing games like this. So I'm done talking about the Bucs. Next. Now this is a team with details. This is a team with heart. This is a team you want to cheer for. The Patriots are back. Look into my eyes. Notice that I am not backing off. I'm not blinking here. The Patriots are back. Now I'm blinking because I hold it too long. And the tears are coming to my eyes. I'm getting emotional. The Patriots are back, and you should fear them. Not only are they back, but the Patriots are good. Not only are the Patriots good, but they have as good of a chance as any team. The Bills, the Chiefs, the Titans, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Bengals, the Browns, the Jets, of winning the AFC. You want to hate them, but you can't deny them because they're fucking back. The Patriots are here. They're here to stay. Dynasty 2 is about to begin. You want to bring out your memes, bring out your predictions. Patriots are not a playoff team. Patriots not winning the AFC East. Patriots aren't going back to the playoffs for 10 years. They got to rebuild. You know what? Fuck your rebuild. Patriots don't need to rebuild. They're back. Mac Jones, highest graded rookie quarterback by PFF since 2006. I was 10. Mac Jones, best. Stop it. Can we stop it? I don't know how many times I've got to see a tweet that says some sort of backhanded, like, bullshit compliment, some sort of backhanded bullshit, like, tweet about, or graphic about, like, Mac Jones is playing the best, but he's not the best. What? What? How can you sit there and say that any of these clowns, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, how can you sit back and suggest any of these guys are on the level of Mac Jones? Can we stop? How many times this guy's the real deal? Can we stop? Bro, how many times am I going to read a damn tweet? Guys, I've saved this one on my phone. We got this dude, all right? Calling him out right now. Okay, Brett Coleman is a YouTuber, NFL guy, right? You might know who he is. He replied to a tweet. Most games with 100-plus passer rating among first-round quarterbacks from the 2021 draft. Mac Jones has 5. Everyone else has 0. And he said, the poster child for situation matters. I don't care what team Mac Jones is on. If he's on the Jags, the Jets, the Bears, the freaking BC Lions. I don't care. Mac Jones is good. Can we stop the narrative? Can we stop the ceiling narrative? Can we stop the, oh, he's good right now, but in 4 years, he's going to be the 4th best because he can't run? Can we shut the fuck up already? Please. You're going to hurt my brain. Who's the best right now? I don't care about 8 years from now. I don't care about 14 years, 17 years, 16 years. I don't care. Who's the best right now? Why do we always make these arguments about my pick at the beginning was Trevor Lawrence, so I can't adjust my take because I have too much pride. Dude, it's called self-scouting yourself. It's called self-scouting yourself. Move on. Admit defeat. Admit it. You were wrong. Move on. We've got people from... Still. People still won't admit Josh Allen is good. Like, what the? Dude. What do you see? What do your eyes tell you? What do the stats tell you? What does the win-loss record tell you? I don't care if it's Belichick as his coach. He would be doing the exact same thing in San Francisco. Bro, give it up. Anyways, enough of Mac Jones. He's great. Played his best game of his career. This is how you know. No, I'm not done with Mac Jones. Hold up. This is how you know Mac Jones is the best rookie quarterback and will be the best of this class for the rest of his damn career. This is how you know. Let me go to the drive sheet. This is how you know a quarterback is good. I'm going to give you the secret right now. Okay? First drive of the game. First series for New England. 3rd and 8 on New England's 19. Mac Jones pass short right complete to New England's 31 to Hunter Henry for a gain of 12 yards. 12 yards on 3rd and 8. First down. Second series of plays. 3rd and 6 on New England's 35. Mac Jones pass short middle complete to New England's 40 to Jacoby Myers. Gain of 7. First down. 3rd and 13 on Cleveland's 23. Mac Jones pass to Brandon Bolden for a gain of 20. First down. Second drive. Where they actually got more than one play because after that Baker Mayfield sucked, so they gave him a touchdown. 3rd and 5 on New England's 33. Gain of 12. First down. Pass. 3rd and 9 on New England's 46. Mac Jones deep left complete to Jacoby Myers for 26 yards. First down. What's next? 3rd and 5 on New England's 38. Mac Jones steps back to pass. PI. First down. 3rd and 14. First down. Third quarter. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm telling you right now? By the way, 3rd and goal at the 3. Touchdown. The New England Patriots beat the Browns. Why? Not only did their offensive line play better, not only was their game plan better, not only was the defense better, the Patriots went 7 for 9 on 3rd down. The Browns went 1 for 11. Why? The quarterback. That's why. Mac Jones was unbelievable on 3rd down. 3rd down's quarterback down. That's what they call it, right? That's why Mac Jones is the best rookie quarterback. He's making throws. He's making plays. And you can't deny it. I won't hear anything. In this game, Trent Brown, animal. There's a play in the game where Trent Brown blocked Jadeveon Clowney and another 300-pound person on the same play at the same time. Beast. Ramondre Stevenson. I heard Belichick can't draft. Stud. Christian Barmore. I heard Belichick couldn't draft. Stud. Hunter Henry. Free agency signing. Stud. Kendrick Bourne. Free agency signing. Stud. Kyle Duggar. 2nd round pick. Stud. Matt Judon. Free agency signing. Stud. I thought Belichick sucked as a GM. Best defense in the league. Top offensive line in the league. Best rookie quarterback in the league. Top run game in the league. They're real. They're legit. Fear the Patriots because they're tough. They'll take the ball away. They'll protect the ball. They'll run the rock on anybody. Nobody wants to play this team. I promise you. When the weather gets cold, nobody wants to play them. You're going to get smacked in the mouth. You're going to bleed from your mouth. When Matt Judon hits you. When Trent Brown pancakes your ass. That's what's going to happen. Fear the Patriots. The Pats are back. You know who also is back? Cam. Cam is back. And in case you didn't know, he let you know in the end zone when he scored not 1, but 2 touchdowns. And he said, I'm back. I'm back. I want to say this. I'm done with these Cam haters. F you. I don't like you. If you don't like Cam Newton, I have a personal problem with you. You don't gotta like him. If you dislike him, I am not your friend. I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't care if you're a great person. I don't care. You aren't cool. You're not cool. Anyone that doesn't like Cam Newton is not cool. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care what team you cheer for. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how good looking you are. If you don't like Cam Newton, red flag. I don't like you. Period. Bro, I could not explain how many people on Twitter, when they saw the Cam Newton highlight of him saying he is back, commented something to the degree of Cam Newton is selfish. Bro, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Who are you? Do you even understand who this guy is? Do you ever even understand who he is at heart? It's not selfish. The man was doubted, cut, hated on. People still hate him for no reason. He's a great guy. He does shit for the community. People love him. He's inspiring. He's like a superhero. He's literally a superhero for these kids and these people in Carolina. And people hate him. Why? Because he celebrates? Are you serious? Like, this is what I don't understand. Clearly the team likes him. Clearly the team is excited that he scored a touchdown, and people hate him. People are hating on him. Bro, grow up. Grow up. That's why I'm convinced if you don't like Cam Newton, you are not cool. You are a loser. Like, he's an icon. He's a legend of the sport. Bro, he's a good guy. Like, why do you hate him? I really will never understand this stuff. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I'm done with it. I don't even want to, like, I don't even take the topic anymore. Like, I don't even process it anymore. I don't get it. I just don't think you understand who he is. It's not arrogant. It's energy. When an athlete is celebrating or when an athlete is doing something, it's an expression of who they are. It's an expression of their energy that they're feeling. It's an expression of emotion. It's an expression of performance. Right? When a singer is singing a song that they wrote, that they've put their heart and soul into, and they are expressing themselves in a certain way, dancing a certain way, it's not seen as arrogance, it's seen as performance. Cam Newton's a performer. Cam Newton's an entertainer. Cam Newton is expressing what he feels. And that is a thing for his team. Robbie Anderson is like, I've never seen the guy smile. He smiled. What else do I got to say besides that? The first game he plays, they win by 30 points. The first game he plays, he's leading the team on the sidelines. He is a leader. That's why I liked him on New England. He's a leader. You saw the difference, right? One game, he was there for 3 days. Again, if you don't like Cam Newton, I don't like you. If you subscribe to this channel and you don't like Cam Newton, bro, might as well leave. I don't care. You don't gotta like him, but try to understand him, okay? I'm done. Next topic. At number 8. Topic 8. Should we believe in the Chiefs? Because if you guys watch Sunday Night Football, I don't know what to tell you, but bro, Chris Collinsworth was telling you should believe in the Chiefs because they ran a play nobody's ever run in the history of football. In fact, I've only seen every team in the history of football run the fake block from the tight end and leak into the end zone play. Woo! So revolutionary. Never seen that one before. But should we believe in the Chiefs? And my answer is not yet. I'm willing to give them a chance, but they've got to beat a good team before I say they're back. Okay? Like, beat a good team. The Raiders are a liability. I love the Raiders. I'm not going to lie. I was cheering for the Raiders. I wanted the Raiders to win. I like Derek Carr. I think they're an incredibly weird story, but it makes them very easy to cheer for because they've gone through so much as a team. But bro, you beat the Raiders all the time. Don't give me that shit. You beat the Raiders all the time. I mean, that broadcast, I couldn't stand it. I was tearing my hair out of my freaking skull. But, should we believe in the Chiefs? Not yet. If the Chiefs, this is my statement. If the Chiefs beat the Cowboys, which by the way, guys, if the Chiefs are a actually good team, they will beat the Cowboys at home. Because actually good teams beat good teams at home in November. They do. Trust me, I know. Actually good teams that aren't pretenders at home in a big game, in a big setting, with the world's eyes on you, beat that team. So if the Chiefs are back, if the Chiefs are actually good, they will beat Dallas in Arrowhead Sunday. Because that's what good real teams do. That's what championship teams do. They win at home in those games. On the road, okay, I'll give you a pass. At home, you fucking win. Or else. If they lose, they're just frauds. They're pretenders. And I don't want to hear it. Okay? Or at least they're not there yet. And I'm not buying. If they beat the Cowboys, I'm in. Okay? I'm in if they beat the Cowboys. If they lose the Cowboys, I'm not even touching the damn team. I'm so far away from the stock, you won't even see me in the picture. Okay? So the Chiefs, that's what I feel about them. Next. Packers are the best. So we saw the Ultra 10 earlier. The Packers were, I think, number 2 on the Ultra 10. The Packers could be the best team in the league. Now, my problem with the Packers, it's not a problem. Okay, that's not the right word. My dilemma with the Packers is a couple things. Green Bay, every single year, it feels like, for the last 3 years, is like the best NFC team. They're like the number 1 team in the regular season. Everybody crowns their ass during the regular season. They get home field, and they kind of glide towards the playoffs and eventually lose in the NFC Championship to a better team. It kind of feels the same way this year. There is one difference, though. The Packers' defense might be good. It might be. It looks good. It looks a lot more organized. I think that's a good adjective. Organized. It looks less chaotic. More organized. And they've been playing really well. And you got to give them a ton of credit for that. But what actually I think is holding them back from me truly believing in them as a champion is the offense, which is really weird to say. But the Green Bay Packers beat the Seahawks 17-0. Their offense at no time looked good or elite. And Aaron Rodgers is good, but he's certainly not the same player we saw last year. The offense is just not that great. They get by because they've got a pretty good play caller in Matt LaFleur. They've got a great quarterback. They've got a great receiver. They've got a solid running game. But there's something missing about the Packers. There is something missing. You would feel like the Packers, the way their defense is playing right now, they shouldn't be winning 17-0. They should be winning like 30-0. Like 35-0. 35-10. 38-10. Not 17-0. Leading by 3 at half versus the Seahawks at home. It just feels a little off. I don't know really tangibly what it is. They're not explosive. They don't have that like undeniable, like this team's going to get the ball and they're going to score vibe. And that to me is something that's missing from them. So until I see that, I'm not going to fully believe in the Packers to win the Super Bowl, because that's a big ask. But they certainly have a defense that I feel is better than what they've had the last couple of years, that gives them a chance, if their offense can get there, to be a full, well-rounded championship team. But their offense is the one that's holding them back right now. And that's what I think. Next. Hey, the AFC is starting to make some sense. It really is. Kind of. A little bit. Just a tad bit. Maybe not enough, but more, right? Am I right? Am I wrong? Well, here's how I'd say. So, the Titans can compete for the AFC. The Bills can compete for the AFC. The Patriots can compete for the AFC. Maybe the Chiefs, if they beat the Cowboys. The Chargers, no. I know what they are. They're pretty good, but they're flawed. The Browns, F no. Steelers, Ravens, this has been established. Pretenders. Don't include them. You can't lose to the Dolphins, a team that just cover zeros you to death on Thursday Night Football. 7-point favorites. Can't do it. Can't do it. The Dolphins. Jacoby Brissett. Tua. Can't. I won't allow it. And it's not just that they lost. They looked awful. I mean horrendous. Bengals are a couple years away. Maybe a year away. So really, AFC is starting to make some sense. Bills are good. I believe that. I know they lost the Jags. I think that was a blip in the radar. I think they're good. Titans, I think they're good. Patriots, I know they're good. Chiefs, they might be good. Chargers, not quite good enough. Bengals, not quite good enough. Browns, too inconsistent. Steelers, they just suck. And that's the conference. There's tiers. There is tiers. So, yeah. Making some sense. A little bit. Just a little bit of sense. All right. I teased this at the beginning. What's up, Lenny? Nice to see you, man. Hope you're doing all right. Bills have a defining stretch coming up on their schedule that will let us know how good they really are. If the Bills dominate this stretch, I think they'll represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. If the Bills stumble in this stretch, they are pretenders. This is the defining stretch of the Buffalo Bills 2021 season. Their schedule is as follows. Versus the Colts. Tough game. Tough matchup. Not a gimme whatsoever. Playoff rematch. Very interesting game. At New Orleans. Tough place to play. Very good defense. Very good coach. Versus New England. At Tampa Bay. Versus Carolina. At New England. Now, obviously, the Patriots games are the most important games in that stretch. But that is a challenging game after challenging game. For basically most of the year, the Bills have played just about nobody. They've beat up on really bad teams and have had a really easy schedule. This defining stretch will truly allow us to understand how good the Bills are. Championship teams, Super Bowl caliber teams win these games or win most of these games, right? Maybe they lose one, okay? But if they sweep this, they're really good. If they lose like more than they win, that's troublesome, and I will be selling them. This is the stretch that allows you to define your expectations for the Bills. Because I think they're that one team that people think of as contenders that nobody really knows how good they are because they really haven't played anybody. So that's what I feel about that stretch. Oh, we had to talk about the Browns just a little bit before the final segment. And it says the Browns are Baker. What do I mean by the Browns are Baker? Baker Mayfield is inconsistent. Baker Mayfield can be good but never great. The Cleveland Browns are too inconsistent. They are taking on the identity of their quarterback. Their quarterback has clear identifiable weaknesses. And you can game plan for them. Their team has clear and identifiable weaknesses. You can game plan for them. If you can game plan for those weaknesses, execute, you will beat the Browns. If you can't stop the run, if you can't stop their pass rush, and you have trouble with play action, you will lose to the Browns. If you stop the run, if you pressure Baker, you will beat the Browns. The Browns are, in my personal opinion, the perfect example of what a good team is. They're a good team because when they play a certain way, they win. When they don't play a certain way, they lose. Great teams, and this is the difference to me in the NFL. Great teams and good teams. Great teams have the flexibility to be whatever they need to be to win. Good teams can only be one thing to win. When they match up well, they win. When they don't match up well, they lose. These are the Browns. These are the Chargers. And ultimately, this is what Baker Mayfield is. And I would not pay this guy. I would not. Move on. Not worth it. Final segment. I think. What we got here? Yeah. So we'll take a couple questions at the end. So I just want to do a little NFL playoff update. Take a look at the standings for the AFC and the NFC. And give you my thoughts as of right now. Who I think is probably going to make it. Who's not going to make it. Kind of like where I stand on things in the AFC and the NFC. And I think I'm going to do this every week leading up to the playoffs from here on out. Let me know what you guys think. So in the NFC, currently as follows. Packers, Cardinals, Bucks, Or no, sorry, Dallas, Tampa Bay, Rams, Saints, Panthers. Packers, Cardinals, Dallas, Tampa Bay, Rams, Saints, Panthers. Okay? Teams on the outside looking in, Vikings, 49ers, Seahawks, and you might want to throw the Eagles in there the way they've been looking lately. So, you look at those 7. I think there's a strong chance. Obviously, the 5 are going to make it. Packers, Cardinals, Bucks, Dallas, Rams. They're locks. Lock, throw away the key. Now, 6 and 7. You got the Saints, you got the Panthers. I think one of these teams will make it, and one of them will not. And I'm kind of starting to feel like the Saints are the team that's going to miss out. I just think they need too many things to go right on a given week to make it. And maybe the Panthers also miss. Like, this is very up in the air. But it just feels like the Saints are starting to get on that downward slope. They lost the Titans. They lost last week to the Falcons. It feels like they can just about beat anybody, but they can also lose to anybody. I feel like the Saints are going to miss. The Panthers got a chance. Schedule's not too tough. Cam at quarterback. Defense is very strong. Probably the most underrated defense. Falcons nowhere close, Jeremy. I'm done with them. They suck. Vikings got a chance, but they constantly find a way to shoot themselves in the foot. I think the biggest game for the Vikings is that Niners game in 2 weeks. So not this week, but next week, I think. The Niners and the Vikings play. Very well, whoever wins that game might make the playoffs. It might be down to that sort of thing. I think both teams are 4-5 right now. The Vikings might be better than that, but it feels like the Vikings should be like 7-2, but they're not. Seattle is getting really hard to suggest they're going to make it, just given how Russell Wilson looked last week, how their offense looks in general. But I won't count them out necessarily. Eagles are a long shot, but the way that they're playing, they might be able to compete for 7 wins. So right now, I think I'm going to do my power rankings tomorrow, so you get my true rankings there, but kind of feels like the Packers are going to get the number 1 seed again, given their schedule, although I would like to see somebody else get it. Cardinals are tough to trust because Kyler Murray and the injury is scary, and they kind of feel like that team that's going to fall a little bit towards the end of the season, as they've already kind of been doing. The Rams, though, they looked bad tonight, and it's hard to trust that they're going to win the division. So that one's really a toss-up. I think the Bucs are clearly going to end up somewhere in that top 3, top 4. I think, really, the key is not being the 4th team, because then you would have to play the Rams or the Cardinals. If you're Dallas or Tampa, you want to get one of the top 3 spots. Dallas, I think, has a pretty easy schedule. They'll probably end up number 2. I think the Bucs probably end up number 3. Actually, the Bucs probably end up number 2. The Dallas ends up number 3, just because the Bucs have the head-to-head advantage over Dallas. So that might be the way it goes. Dallas at number 2, or Dallas at number 3, Tampa at number 2. I'm gonna say Rams at number 4, although I don't really trust it. And then the Cardinals at number 5. I feel like the Saints are going to slip. Panthers might even slip. I think the Vikings and the Seahawks are better than the Saints and the Panthers. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's really interesting. It's tight. Personally, if I was to choose, I'd like to see the 49ers in there, and I'd like to see the Panthers in there with Cam. If that was like what I wanted to see, that would be like what I want to see. AFC wise, Titans feel like they're going to get the 1st seed, although I feel like it's closer than people think. I think a lot of people think they're kind of like a lock to get it, and I'm not sure about that because I do think Buffalo and New England, and even Baltimore, but I just don't think Baltimore is consistent enough. But here's the thing with Tennessee, has a pretty easy schedule. They'll likely get the first seed. But you always have to wonder, like, with the injuries that they have, if they're gonna slip up to a bad team down the stretch. So I see them finishing with like 4 losses, maybe 5. I don't think the first seed is gonna have like 2 or 3 losses. Second, probably Buffalo. Although when you look at Buffalo's schedule and you compare them to New England, like New England's playing better right now. New England plays them twice. It's pretty close. I think both are locks to make it, but it's tough to call who's going to get the division. Tennessee's a lock to make it, not a lock for the first seed. Baltimore is probably going to win the division. I just don't think they're like that good. Kansas City's probably going to win the AFC West. You've got the 5th, 6th, and 7th seeds currently, which is Pittsburgh, New England, Cincy. Pittsburgh, I think, is going to fall out of that. They've got a really hard schedule coming up. Cincinnati, probably the same. If I were to say, I think the Chargers are playing. The Chargers might make it. They've got an easier schedule coming up. The Colts are playing the best football out of all those teams. I think New England will finish with rather one of the division titles or the 5th seed. And then you've got the 6, 7, which I think might be Cincy, the Chargers, the Colts. I'm going to eliminate the Raiders. I think they're on a downward slope here beginning last week versus the Chiefs. I think the Browns are too inconsistent. I think they'd need to win a lot of in-division games to get there. So I'm going to say, just for the sake of it, New England 5, 6, we're going to go Chargers, 7, we're going to go, I'd like to see Cincinnati. I'm just not sure. I'm going to go Colts right now, but that's maybe a little bit risky. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But that's kind of my updated raw thoughts. I didn't really previously think about that. That's just me looking at the teams and kind of giving you my thoughts. But there it is, guys. The Week 10 review and reaction. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to Gronk spike that like button. And remember to subscribe to the channel if you are new for more BLV every week. Here after Monday Night Football is the reaction. If you guys have any questions, let me know right now. Any questions? Any questions? Chris says, Steelers suck. How do you tie the Lions? To be fair, they did have their backup quarterback. But, Dave says, I suspect that the Titans may lose to the Pats at the end of the month. Warm weather team in Foxborough. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a tough game for both teams. I think New England likely wins the game too, more so because of the Titans without Derrick Henry and Julio. But I wouldn't count the Titans out. I think when you look at the Titans' schedule, and that could be big. Like, I know this is crazy to say, but New England, like, if you're a Patriots fan, they legitimately have a chance for, like, a top 2 seed, which is insane. Like, any team that's just the crazy part about the AFC this year. Like, you're 6-4, and you still have a chance to, and the Chiefs, like, the Chiefs, the same thing. The Ravens, like, as bad as they've played, the Bills, these teams all have a chance to be the best team in their conference before the playoffs. That's insane to me. That's really insane to me. You look at the Titans' schedule, they're 8-2. So they play the Texans, that's a win. That's 9-2. Then they got New England. Then they got their bye week. Okay? But if you're a team like New England, Buffalo, Kansas City, Baltimore, if you run the table and the Titans lose 2 games, you could easily be the first seed. So that's the way I look at it. It's not decided, right? Lenny says, was I not spot on the Patriots this year? I totally called that shit. What's up, Lenny? How you doing, man? Why'd you leave the chat, bro? Monty, what's up? Aqua says, you think the Bengals could make a run at the division? I personally don't think so. The division's wide open. I don't know if they're consistent enough to do it. They're 5-4 right now. They dropped the last 2 games, but they did have their bye week. I think they're probably favored to beat the Raiders. I think they're probably favored to beat the Steelers. Chargers will be interesting. I think Niners will be a tough game. Broncos, Ravens, Chiefs, Browns. So I think it really comes down to those division games. Steelers, Ravens, Browns. And it'll also come down to the Raiders and Chargers. You know, like if you lose to the Niners, I don't think that's a big deal. If you lose to, those are big games. You play a lot of big games. So their schedule is ahead of them. When I look at it, I'd probably lean towards no. But I wouldn't completely say it's impossible. Liam. Is it Liam or Leah? Liam says, how do you see the MVP race? Oh, that's really tough. Honestly, I don't know. I'd probably still give the edge to Brady, given the stats, but I don't know if there's a clear MVP right now. The candidates really haven't played that well lately. So, Jeremy says, do you think any team in the AFC is a matchup problem for the Pats? No. I'm thinking. I want to see how they play against the Bills. I think the Bills might be the toughest. But honestly, no, I don't. I really don't. You know, I don't think that's just me being a Pats fan, bias, whatever. I really don't see a matchup that's oh my goodness, if they play that team, there's no chance they win. Sure, maybe they're not favored over one or two of the teams, but I'm they could win. I wouldn't be that surprised. He says the Colts. No, I mean, I think that game will be close, but I would say Carson Wentz. And there's 2 things about the Colts that I think help New England is Carson Wentz, for one, versus Belichick. And then number 2, their zone defense allows it for teams, quarterbacks like Mac to complete a lot of underneath passes. And that's kind of where the Patriots live in this offense this year is with that short passing game, with efficiency, right? So if they play the Colts, I'm not scared at all. Titans, I'm not, especially without Julio and Derrick Henry. But even with those guys, I think that would be a good game. The Bills, the only reason I say the Bills is they've got a really good quarterback. They beat us last year twice, and their defense is actually pretty good. So that's the reason I say the Bills. But we'll see how they play them. They play them twice. The Ravens, they beat them last year. I don't think the Ravens are a very good team. Their receivers aren't scary. Their run game isn't as scary as usual. Their defense is more of more average than it's been. I'm not scared of them at all. I think Patriots are better than them. I think the Patriots are better than the Chiefs. I think the Patriots match up very well with the Chiefs. Steelers, I'm not scared of. I don't even think they'll be relevant. The Bengals, I don't think will make it, but I'm not scared of them. They're just, young quarterback, young coach. Chargers, obviously not. Raiders, no. Browns, yeah, we saw that. So, no, there is no team. Going through it, I don't think there is. What about some teams from the NFC? Okay, that's a different story. Obviously, we saw the Cowboys. I think it would be a different game this time, but they played them down to the wire. I would really like to see a rematch between Dak and this defense, because I think the defense is playing better now. But obviously, that was a tough game. Bucks would be a tough. I still think the Bucks are a tough game for them, especially on a neutral field. Cardinals, no, I don't think are a tough matchup. Packers, potentially. Haven't seen that matchup in quite some time, so I don't really know, but that potentially could be tough. The Rams, I honestly don't think is actually a tough matchup. I think they could punch the Rams in the face, just like the Titans did. And then the other teams are, average. For whatever reason, though, the 49ers probably beat our ass by like 40 points. Even though they're not really, we're never going to see them. Lenny says the Patriots are incredibly interesting for the playoffs. They have great depth and can match up defensively against most teams in the AFC with a quarterback who can, at worst, manage the game. Havoc says the Titans remind me of the early 2000s Patriots, just playing complementary football and doing what it takes to win. No, I don't think the Ravens would give them trouble. I really don't. Not based on what I saw last year versus that team. No. Especially what I saw Brian Flores do to them. Brady or Mac? Brady. Marino says, go Pats Nation, go Mac Jones, Patriots all the way. No, I'd take Herbert's season. Unless Mac ends up doing something down the stretch that's pretty awesome, but I'll say Herbert made more big plays, but Mac's been more efficient. Monty says, what do you think the biggest weaknesses the Patriots have? I think it's explosive offensive plays, like downfield passing attack, just general getting explosive plays. That is their biggest weakness. Everything else they're good at. Like, I don't even think there's another weakness. I think everything else they're good at. They're good at pass defense. They're good at run defense. They're good at run offense. They're good at short passing game. They're good at run game. Like, they're good at special teams. They're good at situational ball, red zone, third down. The only thing that is a weakness for New England is explosive plays on offense. Chargers are sinking like the Titanic. Thoughts on the AFC's future, considering all the crazy quarterbacks? Interesting. So I think the Titans are a little bit more of a short-term team than a long-term team, especially considering their best players are running back. The Bills are definitely built to win for a long period of time. The Ravens have Lamar, so they'll be good. The Chiefs will be good. Although I think we can definitely say they won't be as dominant as maybe some people thought. Like, I don't think they're going to be winning 5-6 Super Bowls. Maybe 2, maybe 3. Patriots will be good as long as they have Belichick. Bengals, I feel like, are going to be that team that's kind of like come and go from contention. One year they'll be good. One year they won't. Chargers, I feel like, will be pretty good for most of the... Like, what's a good comparison for the Chargers? Are the Chargers a good comparison for the Chargers? The Colts need to find a quarterback. The Browns, I think, before the year looked promising, but now I don't know. I really don't. Is Pats Packers a possible matchup? Sure. Ron says, I think by next year we'll be a real Super Bowl contender if Matt can get a number one receiver. I think that's the number one priority for the Pats in the offseason is finding a number one receiver. Tampa says, if the Chiefs played the Patriots on Sunday night instead of the Raiders, who do you think wins? Patriots. And I say that with confidence. Chargers are like Minnesota from 2015 to 2019. Kendrick Bourne, beast. Monty's favorite player. The new number one receiver, Kendrick Bourne. Lenny's boy. All right, guys. I think I'll end it there. Appreciate you all staying up late with me to react to this reaction. And we will see you tomorrow for the NFL Power Rankings. I'm also going to be putting out my early line report. So the first time I'm going to be doing that is tomorrow, and you're going to get a sense of that show tomorrow. And then I think if it's successful, I'll probably move it to Mondays. So basically what I'm going to be doing is giving an early kind of look at every game and specifically the gambling element of every game. You know, the totals, the spreads, where to bet early, what to bet early, and that sort of stuff. So thanks, guys, for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to Gronk Spike the like button. Check out Patreon. Link is in the description if you want to support me. And also follow us on social media, at Mitch Milani on Twitter, MILANI, and at TheBottomLineView on Instagram. All links are in the description, guys. Peace!